Okay, I've shown how to make something like this before, but it was quite a while ago. And being as though I've got these beautiful new Disney fabrics, I thought I'd have a go at making the project again. So it's going to be a storage caddy. Now you can make these in any size. The size I'm going to show you how to make today, you will need 2 pieces of fabric that measure 10 inches wide by 8 inches high. And then I am also using for the lining 2 pieces of felt, again 10 inches wide by 8 inches high, and this is a really simple and quick project to make. So what you need to do is take one of your pieces of felt and one of your pieces of fabric and put them right sides together and sew along the top edge, and do that to both pieces. I'm using just regular white thread in the top and the bottom, and I'm just lining up the edge of the presser foot with the edge of the fabric and using the stitch set in its normal position, which is in the centre of the foot. And I'm going to do that to both pieces. So now I'm going to open up the fabric. I'm going to push the felt seam towards the outer fabric, and I'm going to top stitch just along the top. You don't have to do this, it just gives a little extra finish to your outer fabric, and it just also helps you stitch down this seam. So you want to sew fairly close to the fold line. So that's how it's looking so far. And then repeat with the other piece. So push the felt side towards the front of the fabric, line it up with your presser foot and stitch. So there's the other one. As I said, you can skip this part if you want to. So what you're going to do now is put your 2 fabrics right sides together, and you can pin or clip if you want. Felt does tend to move a little, so you may want to pin it or clip it. So to give it the best looking result, you want to make sure that at least your front fabrics line up together. So make sure that your sewn lines on your front pieces match up. So I'm just using one of my ScanNCut air erasable pens, and what I'm going to do, I'm just going to mark about 2 or 3 inches on one side of the lining, and this is where I'm leaving the opening for the turning. So basically I'm going to start sewing, come all the way up, all the way along to this point, back stitch, and then I'm going to not sew here and start again here, start sewing, back stitch, and come all the way down and back round. When I get to the bottom, I'm going to stop with the needle in the down position. I'm going to pivot and turn and then carry on. If you're not confident with that, sew off and then start again. Okay, so I'm coming back round to this side now, so I'm going to sew up here to here and stop and back tack. So this is how it's looking now, sewn all the way round with an opening here. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to cut a 1.5 inch square from each of the 4 corners. So you can measure in from the seam line, not from the edge of the fabric, from the seam line. You can measure in 1.5 inches and up 1.5 inches and draw. Or if you've seen me do any previous sewing videos, you'll know that I've made these templates and these have been cut on the ScanNCut. So I'm going to use my little 1.5 inch square template and I'm going to line it up on the sewn line, and I'm just going to draw around it like so on each of the 4 corners, and then I'm going to cut that out. Then you want to take a nice sharp pair of scissors and cut these out, and try, if you sew and you do paper crafts, try and keep a pair of scissors just for fabric and a pair just for paper. It does make a difference because paper, you know, will dull your blades. So this is how it's looking now. So it's nearly finished. So what you're going to do now, you're going to line up this seam with this seam on all 4 corners. So you're going to open up where you've just cut and bring your 2 seams together, nest your seams and pin or clip in place like so, and you're going to do that on all 4 corners, and this is going to make your boxed corner. And push your seams in opposite directions so you've not got as much bulk when you're sewing over. So I'm going to open them out, put the 2 side seams together and then push 1 set of seams one way and 1 the other and clip or pin. So that's how it's looking now. And then you're just going to sew a straight line across on all 4 sides. And again, I'm using the edge of the foot along the edge of the fabric, which is giving me consistent seams across all the project. Just take your time when you're going over the felt seams because obviously they can be a bit bulky, and back tack at the beginning and end. That's how it's looking. That's 1 done, and then you're just going to repeat on the other 3. Okay, that's it. So what you need to do now is find the opening that you left in your lining, put your hand inside and pull the outside fabric through this gap. Now just take your time and it will come out. Just pull it a little bit at a time. You don't want to rip the stitches, and then push your corners out on your lining so you can see your nice box corner now. Do the same with where your opening is. That's going to be sewn up in a few minutes. So this is how it's looking now. So if you pull this seam together now, it will go together on its own, and you can either hand stitch, or because this is going to be inside and it's the lining, you're not going to see it, you can put it back under your machine and just top stitch it, and that's what I'm going to do. So all you need to do now is push your lining inside your storage caddy, and there it is finished. And because you've already top stitched this edge, you've got a nice clean edge. You could go round it again if you want, but I mean, you know, I don't think it really needs it. It's going to hold together. You've got your nice boxed bottom corners. If you want to, you could fold it over, and obviously you can make these in any size you want. So these make great little storage containers for your desk. You can make them narrower and taller, you can make them bigger, it's entirely up to you. But once you know how to make them, they are quick and easy to do, and as I say, you can make them in any size. So I hope you like the tutorial. Please give the video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you don't already do so, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.